Welcome to tutorial number 8 on symbols. I have put the symbols drawing in your online content, and so that is what we're going to take a look at first. Let's open it up. If you open up that drawing, you will probably get this box that pops up and it says one or more SHX files are missing. What do you want to do? It's referring to shape files, which was an ancient way of doing symbols. But just say ignore the missing shape files and continue for right now. Okay, so this is what the drawing looks like, and note that AutoCAD no longer uses symbol libraries. What they do is they just have drawings that have several blocks in them, and then you can, excuse me, then you can use those blocks in other drawings or in your current drawings. And I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. So basically, I have created here a symbol library called Symbols.dwg. These symbols are symbols that we use at our company. And this isn't all of them, but I just put some basic ones in here so you could get the idea. And we're probably going to use these for the rest of the semester. So get familiar with them. So the first thing I guess I want to show you is how to create a block so that you can use it as a symbol. So the first thing you want to do is draw. Let's draw a line from 0, 0 to 1, 0, and then to 1, 1, and to 0, 1, and then back to 0, 0. Okay. Hit escape to get out of that. It landed right here on top of my other stuff, but let's get it, let's move it over here. Okay, so first thing you need to know is that your symbols should try to stay within this 1 by 1 foot square. Some of them are a little bit larger, like this tree, but you want to try to stay within this size and keep them this size when you create them. It makes it much easier when you import them into another drawing. You can scale it easily to be the right size, and you can keep them consistent. All your symbols are going to be approximately the same size. So draw a box, and then I like to also draw well, my object's not turned on. I like to draw lines from corner to corner. We'll find out just a second. Okay, so let's make it a circle. We want it to start in the center, and we want to go out to the end, and then we want to do another one, and we want to go not quite so far, and say we want to do a rectangle. Oh, it does it a little differently. We do one end, let's do it the intersection, to the intersection over there. Okay, so now we can, what we really want is 2 circles and a square, and we'll have to get rid of all our extra stuff in just a minute. But to create that as a symbol, you have to basically make it a block, which just is a group of objects together. So it's treated now as one object. So over here we have an iron pipe and it's 2 circles, but when you click on it, it's just one object. So that's what we're going to do here. So in order to do that, you can go to Insert, and then on the block panel, select Create, or you can just type block at the command line. The block definition comes up and it wants to know the name. So we're going to call this one Test. And it wants to know, first of all, your base point. In the lecture, we talked about this being the insertion point. So when you insert it into a drawing, the center of it, or when you snap to the end point, what point is going to snap there? And we want the middle of it too. And then what objects do you want to include in this block? So we just want the two circles and the square. So we right click to end the selection process. And then it asks for the behavior. We want annotated, scale, uniformly, allow exploding. Let's just leave that at default and select OK. This shouldn't come up. I had already done this once before. Alright, so now when I select on that, we have a block. Let's get rid of the other objects that are not part of our block. And that is our new symbol. Okay? And we've named it test. You could have named it iron pipe. You could have named it sign. You could have given it these funky names like I have over here. But that's your new symbol. And all you have to do is create a drawing with all of them in it. And that's it. That's how you create a symbols library in AutoCAD now. So let's go ahead and close this drawing. Save it. And now let's look at this drawing file, Homework 3D, that I've also put in. You should download this. This is what you're going to use to turn in for your homework assignment, the second part of your homework assignment this week. So let's look at what I have here is a set of 8 points. These are the section corners on a section in my part of the world. It's in state plane coordinates and it's been shot with GPS. Don't mind the descriptions. I've changed those so you won't be able to find the stone at the north quarter. If you look here, you'll find something else. But anyway, so this is a point number and the point description. The X represents the actual point that was shot. The coordinates of that point are at the center of the X. I've given you a little bit of a legend as to what our description, short names of our descriptions mean. IPC is an iron pin and cap, for example. So what I want to do is I want to use the symbols that we have now in the symbols drawing and place them on these points. And each monument is represented by different symbols. So a stone is a square, whereas an iron pin and cap that's set is a filled-in circle. So we want to place those symbols on here. Also note, if you open your drawing and you cannot see the text very well, change your scale right here to 1 to 1000. Okay? And that should help you see it. Alright, so now how do we get those symbols in here that we've created in the symbols drawing? We'll go to Home and the Palette panel, and then the second tool here is called the Design Center. So let's open it up. Now first of all, I don't know what you're going to see over here on your side. It took me a long time to find where AutoCAD had placed a lot of their symbols, and they're stored in different places. There are some stored in one place and some in others. So you may have to do a search on your computer to find a folder called Symbols and then see where they're at. Here's some that I found. And basically what you do is you select the drawing, and then it says, what do you want to look at in this drawing? Do you want to look at the layers, the line type, text styles, or the blocks? Let's look at the blocks in this drawing. So this drawing contains arrows as blocks, and this is in the symbols directory. So all these files are going to have symbols associated with them. So these are the different arrows that are in that drawing. You can go to Cocoa Plants and look at the blocks, and there are different types of trees and shrubs that you can use. So you might spend some time trying to find where yours are located. Mine, I'll show you where they are, and I have no idea if yours are going to be in the same place. So mine were in C, Program Data, Autodesk, C3D 2011, ENU, Data, and then down to Symbols. So that's where I found these, and a while ago I found some more in a different location. So just look and see what you can find. But I found it difficult to find those, so I just went ahead and created my own because I didn't have the ones I needed. So where are they? Where did you put yours? Mine's on my desktop, remember? So I'm going to go to my projects folder that's on my desktop. Click on homework 3, and there's my drawing with all my symbols. So let's look at the blocks. And there they are. So now I have all of my symbols that were in that drawing right here. And we even have the new one that we created called test. So let's look. I'm going to click this button here. It's auto hide, so it won't stay in the way all the time. But let's put the symbol that's associated with a stone. We use a square, and that's what I want you to do for this class. I want you to go ahead and use the ones that I'm accustomed to. So on this one, a found stone. So let's find it. And it's a square. So there's my found stone. Let me right click on it and say insert block. So this insert block dialog box comes up, and we've selected SPT6. And it's wanting to know the insertion point. We're going to show on the screen where we want to insert it, and we want to notify the scale on the screen. We don't want any rotation, so we're going to leave that at 0. Hit OK. And then make sure your object settings, go in here and clear all, and just select node, because we're working with points, and AutoCAD calls points nodes. They interchange them all the time. Say OK, and it'll automatically do the circle and an X. That's saying you're snapping to a node or a point. So we want to place it there, and it's asking what scale. You can select it by moving your mouse, or you can put in a scale factor at the command line. Well, just so you know, we generally place our symbols at 1/10 of the drawing scale. So down here we've got a drawing scale of 1 inch equals 1,000. So a tenth of that is 100. So we want our symbols to be 100 feet tall. So you type 100 and it places there. And so it's generally a pretty good way to scale your symbols. Alright, let's look at another one. An iron pipe, found 1/2 inch iron IPP. It's an iron pipe. So this is the symbol we use as iron pipe. We've got insert block. Wants to know insertion point and scale. We're going to specify on screen. Say OK. Snap to that node. Type in the factor of 100. And there it is. So that's how you do it. I want you to go ahead and go through this process for the rest of the section corners. And then save the drawing and upload it back up to the online Dropbox. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to call me. And hopefully it's not too difficult for you, and hopefully everything works the way it's supposed to.